If you're here in this moment, something more than luck pulled you to this place. Your future self, the version of you that lives in lined-up possibility, has been sending signals through time. And at last, you're paying attention. This isn't just watching random content. This is a quantum meeting with fate that you set up before you even understood what that meant. Close your eyes for just 3 seconds. In the quantum field, every possible path exists at the same time. Your past, your present, your future, they're all taking place now, shaking at different speeds. And the version of you that has already moved beyond what you're dealing with right now, they've been working to catch your attention. They've been talking through signs of perfect timing, through inner feelings, through moments exactly like this one. You made it through the test. You wouldn't be here if you hadn't. The universe doesn't spend energy on minds that won't open. And your awareness just showed it's ready to grow. The path you've been building without knowing it through your thoughts, your feelings, your energy pattern. It just changed direction. Not tomorrow. Not when you understand everything. Right now, in this breath, the course shifted. There was a moment, maybe minutes back, maybe months back, when you stopped fighting with what's real. When you stopped demanding that things should be different from how they are. When you finally quietly gave in to the wisdom that's been guiding your life from the start. That moment was when you graduated. Your energy pattern switched from pushing against to letting in, and the quantum field answered right away. Your future self knows something you're just starting to remember. Awareness doesn't just watch reality, it writes it. Every thought you have, every feeling you experience, every belief you carry, creates a standing wave in the quantum field. And when those waves reach the right harmony, when they match up with the deeper pattern of who you're turning into, that's when timelines fall into real form. Here's what nobody explains about quantum jumping between different realities. It doesn't happen by pushing hard. It happens through seeing clearly. You don't build a new timeline. You see the one you've already been making. You don't create a future. You remember it into existence. The version of you that has everything you want, they already exist. They're reaching back through time, sending you the frequency codes you need to tune into their reality. This is where everything shifts. The waiting, the fighting, the forcing. That was the old way of working. You've been running awareness software that's out of date, trying to build through hard work what can only show up through being aligned. But your future self has gotten the new version, and it's sending to you now through the very awareness that pulled you here. The quantum field doesn't answer to what you want. It answers to what you are. And you, the you that exists beyond the stories, beyond the walls, beyond the patterns you were handed, you are already complete. You are already linked. You are already the energy match for everything you've been looking for. The space between who you think you are and who you actually are. That space is getting smaller. Let me explain something about timeline science that will shift everything. In quantum physics, the observer effect shows that awareness collapses endless possibilities into single experiences. But here's the deeper truth. You're not just watching your life. You're the quantum observer collapsing all timelines into the one you're living. Every moment of awareness, every choice to stay present instead of going on autopilot, every time you pick love over fear, you're literally choosing which reality becomes real. Your future self isn't just successful or healed or wealthy. They're in harmony. They've learned to keep their energy solid no matter what's happening outside. They've found that reality responds. It's not locked in place. They know that what you call creating is really just aware joining in the endless dance between what you want and where you focus, between what could be and what's likely. Right now you're getting signals from that future version of yourself, not through words or ideas, but through matching energy, through the feeling that something is shifting, something is opening, something that was blocked is starting to move. Your cell structure is actually reshaping as you take in this information. Your nervous system is adjusting to hold higher levels of possibility. The test you passed wasn't something outside of you. Nobody gave you a grade or passed you a paper. The test was inside you. Are you ready to stop living like circumstances control you and start living as someone who consciously creates their experience? Are you ready to stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, how is this helping me grow? Are you ready to stop waiting for someone to say you can and start telling yourself you can? Your future self has been watching you go through the lessons, the hard times, the moments when you wanted to quit but kept going. They've seen you pick growth over staying comfortable, truth over what's easy, being real over getting approval. They know that every single experience, even the tough ones, especially the tough ones, has been getting you ready for this moment of seeing clearly. This is the moment when you stop living life on accident and start living it on purpose, not by forcing results, but by lining up with the deeper flow that's been moving you along all this time. Your future self knows that you don't create your reality by trying to control everything. You create it by tuning yourself, by adjusting your inner frequency to match the reality you want to live. The timeline you just opened up isn't about getting different stuff. It's about becoming a different person. It's about stepping into the version of yourself that already has what you want, because they've become the energy match for it. This new timeline isn't marked by having things. It's marked by being things, being at peace, being in flow, being lined up with the wisdom that moves through everything. You've used so much energy trying to change your situations, but your future self learned the secret: change your awareness, and situations rearrange themselves around the new frequency. Change your inner talk, and the outer world speaks a new language. Change your relationship with time, and time starts to work for you instead of running you. This is why signs of perfect timing have been growing. This is why certain people are walking out of your life while others are walking in. This is why chances that match your true nature are starting to show up, while those that ask you to betray yourself are fading away. The universe is answering your new energy pattern, rearranging reality to match the frequency you're now sending out. Your future self wants you to get something really important. You're not behind. You never were. Every delay was pointing you in a new direction. Every side road was getting you ready. Every shut door was keeping you safe. The timing of you waking up to this truth is perfect because the version of you that could take it in didn't exist until now. You had to become who you needed to be to walk into this new timeline. Take a moment and comment below with this phrase: I am already living my future. Let the quantum field record your statement. Let the universe know that you're no longer waiting for someday. You're claiming the frequency of your destiny. Now, this isn't just positive thinking. This is quantum science. This is you telling all possible timelines which one you're choosing to make real. The old version of you was always working to become something. The new version of you simply is wealthy, is loved, is supported, is guided. Not because you've earned it or deserved it or worked it out, but because that's how awareness works. When it remembers itself, when it stops hiding, when it stops saying sorry for being here, when it stops shrinking itself to make others feel okay, your future self no longer worries about what others think because they've realized that others are mirroring their own awareness back to them. They've stopped taking things as personal attacks because they understand that everyone is living inside their own energy reality. They've stopped trying to control how they're seen because they're too busy enjoying how they're living. This timeline shift isn't just about you, it's about everyone. Every time someone steps into their real power, it creates an energy field that makes it easier for others to do the same. Your waking up to this truth sends waves through the quantum field that touch every life linked to yours. Your healing becomes a spark for healing in ways you'll never completely know. But here's what your future self most wants you to remember. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. It's not about never having problems. It's about facing challenges from a totally different awareness. It's not about controlling life. It's about moving with it. It's not about getting everything you want. It's about wanting everything you get because you trust the wisdom that's guiding it all. If this message is hitting your awareness as truth and not just words, then I invite you to subscribe not just to this channel, but to this energy we're building together. This is more than watching videos. This is an awareness community, a field of lined-up people choosing to live from their highest potential. Every person who matches up with this understanding makes the shared field stronger for everyone. The future isn't something that happens to you. It's something that happens through you. And the you that exists in your highest timeline has been waiting for this moment when you would remember that you're not someone just watching reality. but someone actively taking part in making it. They've been holding space for your waking up, knowing that when you finally walked into this knowing, everything would shift. Your future self knows that awareness is the only tool you'll ever need. That being present is the only practice that matters. That love is the only force strong enough to change anything. They've stopped looking outside themselves for what was always there inside. They've stopped asking the universe for signs and started seeing that they are the sign the universe has been waiting for. You are the answer to your own requests. You are the miracle you've been searching for. You are the love you've been looking for. Not because you've reached some impossible standard, but because you've stopped running from the truth of what you've always been. Your future self is simply you, without the story that you're anything less than holy. The pushback you feel sometimes, that's just the old timeline trying to keep existing. But it has no control over you now because you've seen through the fake story. You've realized that you are not your situations. You are the awareness living through them. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness watching them. You are not your feelings. You are the space where they show up and fade away. This new timeline you've opened up is marked by easiness, not because there are no challenges, but because you meet them from a different place, from knowing instead of hoping, from trust instead of fear, from love instead of feeling like you don't have enough. Your future self moves through life like a skilled sailor who doesn't control the wind, but knows how to position their sails to reach any place they want to go. They've learned that pushing against things is the only source of pain, that what you fight against stays, and what you accept changes. They've found that life isn't happening to them, it's happening for them. Every experience, every meeting, every moment is perfectly created to help their highest growth. Even this moment, especially this moment, your future self wants you to feel this in your body. You are safe to be powerful. You are safe to be seen. You are safe to win. You are safe to be loved. The stories that told you the opposite, they were never real. They were just programs running in the background of awareness. Programs you got from others, but never picked for yourself. Programs you can now knowingly change. The quantum field responds to being clear. The more clear you become about who you are under all the training, the more reality reshapes itself around that truth. The more you line up with your real nature, the more life flows in the direction of your highest good. The more you trust what's happening, the more the process shows its perfection. But let me take you deeper into what this timeline shift actually means for your everyday life. Your future self exists in a reality where perfect timing isn't unusual. It's the natural beat of a life that's in sync. They've learned to read the language of the universe to understand the symbols and signs that are always flowing through their experience. Not because they're special, but because they've tuned their awareness to frequencies that were always sending out signals. Think about how a radio operates. All the stations are sending out signals at the same time, but you only hear the one you're tuned to. Awareness works the same way. All realities, all possibilities, all timelines are sending signals at the same time in the quantum field. Your future self has simply learned to tune to the station that plays the music of their highest potential. And they're teaching you the frequency. Now this is why your relationship with time is about to change completely. The version of you living in this new timeline doesn't experience time as a straight line from not having to having. They experience it as an eternal now moment where everything they need is always there. Past, present, and future collapse into a single point of creative potential. This isn't just beautiful words about spirit. This is how awareness actually works when it's not held back by learned beliefs about how reality operates. Your future self has found something deep about the nature of wanting itself. They've seen that what you call wanting is actually remembering. Every desire that shows up in your awareness is a memory of a reality that already exists in the quantum field. You don't want what's not possible. You want what's bound to happen once you line up with the frequency that makes it real. The yearning you feel isn't for something you're missing. It's your soul seeing a truth it already knows. If this matching energy is shifting something in you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to keep getting these quantum messages. Your engagement helps this frequency reach others who are ready for this waking up. Let me explain the science of this timeline shift through the lens of quantum connection. In quantum physics, tiny particles that have touched stay, linked no matter how far apart they are. When one changes, the other changes right away. Your awareness and your future self are quantum connected. Every shift in your awareness creates an instant shift in their reality, and every expansion in their understanding sends back to you as insight, gut feeling, and inspired action. This is why certain thoughts feel different now, why certain ideas land with a matching energy that goes deeper than just thinking about them. Your future self is quantum connected with your present awareness, and they're always sending upgrades to your awareness software. These aren't your thoughts. They're downloads from a version of you that has already taken in what you're just starting to understand. The timeline you've opened up runs on what scientists call awareness that isn't stuck in one place. Your awareness isn't made by your brain. It's reached through your brain. Your brain is like a quantum antenna tuning into the awareness field and turning endless possibility into actual experience. Your future self has learned to adjust this antenna with exactness to tune into the exact frequency of reality they want to experience. This is why quiet meditation isn't just relaxing, it's quantum technology. Every moment you spend in aware stillness, you're literally rewiring your brain networks to receive higher frequencies of possibility. You're teaching your quantum antenna to pick up signals from timelines where you're already living your highest potential. Your future self sits quietly not to run from reality, but to tune into the version of reality they prefer to experience. But here's where it gets even more deep. Your future self has seen that emotion isn't just feeling. It's the creative force of the universe itself. Every emotion you experience is you sending out a specific frequency into the quantum field. Joy pulls in joyful experiences. Thankfulness pulls in thankful experiences. Love pulls in loving experiences. Not because the universe is giving you rewards for being positive, but because awareness naturally creates more of whatever it puts focus on with emotional strength. This is why your future self doesn't manage their emotions. They work together with them. They've learned that emotions are quantum instructions telling reality what to create more of. When they feel fear, they don't fight it. They see it as information about what their awareness is focused on, and they gently move their attention to what they actually want to experience. Emotions become partners in aware creation, rather than walls to get past. Share in the comments. What old emotional habit are you ready to change into aware creation? What feeling are you choosing to work with rather than fight against? Your future self has also found the secret of quantum harmony in physics. Harmony happens when waves line up to make each other stronger rather than wipe each other out. When your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions are in harmony. When they're all lined up with the same goal, they create a powerful standing wave in the quantum field that reality has no choice but to mirror back to you. This is why trying to create from a split awareness never works. If your thoughts say, "I want plenty," but your emotions say, "I'm scared I don't deserve it," and your actions say, "I'll just stay safe in not having enough," you're creating quantum interference. The waves wipe each other out. But when all levels of your being line up with the same truth, when you reach what your future self calls quantum harmony, creating becomes as natural as breathing. Let me share something your future self wants you to get about the role of hard times in this new timeline. Struggles don't go away. They change from walls into chances for growth. Your future self doesn't run from problems. They welcome them as invitations to live their highest wisdom. They've learned that every challenge is a quantum test, asking, who will you be when facing this? Will you shrink into fear or grow into love? This shift in seeing changes everything. When you stop viewing challenges as proof that something is wrong and start viewing them as chances to show who you're becoming, the whole energy around difficulty changes. Your future self faces the same human experiences: loss, not knowing, change. But they meet them from such a different awareness that the experiences themselves become doorways to greater wisdom, deeper care, more real power. They've also found the quantum nature of connections. Your future self understands that everyone in your life is mirroring some piece of your awareness back to you. Not because you're creating them, but because awareness naturally pulls in experiences that match its inner state. When you change your inner frequency, The people around you either adjust to match your new energy or naturally exit your experience to be replaced by those who match up with who you're becoming. This isn't about labeling people as good or bad. It's about seeing the quantum rule of matching energy. Your future self has learned to love people exactly as they are, while at the same time honoring their own growth. They don't try to change anyone because they understand that real transformation can only happen from the inside. Instead, they focus on living their highest truth and trusting that this creates a field where others can pick their own growth. Your future self has also gotten really good at what quantum scientists call the uncertainty rule. The idea that some things can't be exactly known at the same time. They've learned to be okay with not knowing how their wants will show up while staying sure that they will. This creates what they call quantum trust, complete belief in the universe's ability to arrange perfect results even when the path isn't visible. This quantum trust isn't blind hoping. It's informed trust based on understanding how awareness actually operates. Your future self has seen enough proof of reality's answering to know that when awareness is clear about what it wants and why it wants it, the universe is amazingly creative in bringing it about. They've stopped trying to work out the how and started focusing on making clear the what and why. Tell us below, what breakthrough moment showed you that reality was more answering than you previously thought? When did you first catch a glimpse of your own creative power? Let me tell you about the quantum nature of healing that your future self has found. They've seen that healing isn't about fixing what's damaged. It's about remembering what was never damaged. Every trauma, every injury, every painful experience exists in a specific timeline. When you shift into the timeline of your highest potential, those experiences don't vanish from your history, but their meaning changes completely. Your future self looks back on their hardest experiences with thankfulness because they can see how each one added to their growth. Not because the experiences were good, but because their awareness changed the meaning of those experiences. This is quantum magic, the ability to turn any experience into wisdom, any pain into care, any limit into expansion. This is why your future self doesn't use energy trying to heal the past. They focus on living such a high frequency in the present that the past automatically gets reframed. When you live from being whole, the story of your being broken loses its grip. When you live from love, the story of your not being worthy fades away. When you live from plenty, the story of your not having enough becomes pointless. Your future self has also understood the quantum nature of helping. They've seen that the highest way to help others isn't to try to fix them or rescue them, but to live such real wholeness that it becomes easier for others to remember their own. Real helping happens at the quantum level through the frequency you send out, not the actions you take. Although lined-up action naturally flows from lined-up being, this is why your future self doesn't wear themselves out trying to help everyone. They understand that awareness is catching. By keeping their own quantum harmony, by staying lined up with their highest truth, by living the peace they want to see in the world, they create a shared field that touches every life they meet. Their presence becomes their helping. They've learned that you can only take others as deep as you've gone yourself. You can only love others as much as you love yourself. You can only hold space for others' healing to the level that you've allowed your own. This isn't being self-centered. It's quantum science. You can't give what you don't have, and you can't send out a frequency you're not living. Now, let me share the most deep discovery your future self has made about having plenty. They've seen that not having enough isn't about not having enough stuff. It's about not being enough. And having plenty isn't about having more stuff. It's about being more. When you live plenty awareness, when you truly know yourself as an endless expression of endless creativity, outside plenty becomes bound to happen because you're no longer blocking it with beliefs about not being worthy. Your future self doesn't chase money or try to create specific amounts. They focus on becoming the kind of person who naturally pulls in wealth by being genuinely valuable to others, by solving real problems, by giving their one-of-a-kind gifts in ways that help the highest good. They've learned that the universe is naturally full of plenty, and that lack is only possible when awareness shrinks into the fake story of being separate. This plenty reaches beyond material stuff. Your future self lives in emotional plenty. They don't ration their love or save their joy for special times. They live in mental plenty. Their thoughts are creative and growing rather than worried and limiting. They live in spiritual plenty. They know themselves as connected to endless source rather than as alone individuals fighting by themselves. Take a moment and comment below with this phrase: I am already living my future. Let the quantum field record your statement. Let the universe know that you're no longer waiting for someday. You're claiming the frequency of your destiny. Now. This isn't just positive thinking. This is quantum science. This is you telling all possible timelines which one you're choosing to make real. Your future self wants you to understand something really important about the nature of letting go of anger. In this new timeline, they found that letting go of anger isn't about saying harmful behavior was okay or pretending that wrong didn't happen. Real letting go of anger is quantum healing. It's the seeing that holding on to bitterness only keeps you energetically tied to what you want to be free from. When you let go of anger, you're not changing the past. You're changing your relationship to the past. You're freeing your awareness from the quantum connection with old pain so that your energy can flow toward new possibility. Your future self has let go of anger toward everyone and everything, not because they're perfect, but because they understand that bitterness is a treat they can't afford if they want to live in their highest timeline. This letting go includes letting go of anger toward yourself for not knowing better before you knew better, for making choices that seemed right at the time but created painful results, for being human while trying to be perfect. Your future self has seen that self-letting go of anger isn't just kind. It's needed for quantum harmony. You can't hate yourself into a better version of yourself. You can only love yourself into growth. Let me tell you about the quantum nature of creating that your future self has reached. They've found that creating isn't something you do, it's something you are. You are creating itself, showing up as human awareness. Every moment you're creating your reality through the thoughts you think, the feelings you feel, the choices you make. Your future self has simply become aware of this creating process. This aware creating changes everything. Work becomes fun when you see it as a chance to express your one-of-a-kind gifts. Connections become art when you see them as co-creating partnerships. Even boring activities become meditation when you bring full presence to them. Your future self doesn't split life into creating and non-creating activities. They see that existence itself is a creating act. They've also learned to work together with what Jung called the shared unconscious, the common field of human awareness that holds all of our species' wisdom, patterns, and growth potential. Your future self doesn't create alone. Rewritten text, section 24. They tune into this shared field and allow themselves to be channels for ideas, understandings, and new things that want to show up through them for everyone's benefit. This is why inspiration feels like it comes from outside you, because it does. Your future self has learned to get their sense of self out of the way and allow themselves to be pathways for awareness itself to express through them. They've stopped taking ownership of their ideas and started taking responsibility for receiving them clearly and expressing them genuinely. Your future self has also gotten really good at the quantum art of being present. They've found that being present isn't just being in the moment, it's being the moment. When you're fully present, the walls between watcher and watched melt away. You don't just see life, you become life experiencing itself through your one-of-a-kind view. This level of being present turns regular moments into deep experiences. This being present practice has taught them that the present moment is the only place of creative power. The past exists only as memory, and the future exists only as possibility. All creating happens now. All healing happens now. All changing happens now. Your future self has stopped living in the story of who they were or the dream of who they might become and started living in the reality of who they are. They've learned that being present is a practice, not a place you reach. Even your future self sometimes gets trapped in thought circles or feeling reactions. The difference is, they notice it fast and softly return to being present without judging themselves. They've made being present their normal setting rather than their rare win. Let me share something deep your future self understands about the quantum nature of purpose. They've seen that you don't find your purpose, you live it. Purpose isn't a job or a goal statement, it's a frequency. It's the one-of-a-kind way awareness expresses itself through your individual being. Your purpose is to be genuinely you, to bring your one-of-a-kind gifts into the world, to love in the way only you can love. This understanding has freed your future self from the pressure to save the world or find their one true calling. They've seen that their purpose grows as they grow, that being real in small moments is just as important as big actions. That awareness serves itself through endless expressions, and yours matters just as much as anyone else's. Your future self helps not from feeling they have to, but from having more than enough. They give not from a sense of should, but from seeing that everything is connected. They've found that when you're truly lined up with your real nature, helping becomes as natural as breathing, because you see that helping others is helping yourself, is helping the whole. Now let me tell you about the quantum nature of gut feeling that your future self has built. They've learned to tell apart between the voice of fear and the voice of wisdom, between sense of self-wants and soul direction, between what they think they should want and what they actually need for their highest growth. Gut feeling has become their main way of moving through life. This gut feeling direction doesn't come as big visions or magical experiences, though sometimes it does. Usually it comes as quiet knowing, as gentle pulls in certain directions, as doors that open easily when you're on the right path, and pushback when you're not. Your future self has learned to trust these quiet signals and to follow them even when they don't make thinking sense. They've found that gut feeling is quantum information, direct knowing from the field of endless possibility about which choices will help your highest growth. It's your future self talking with your present self, your higher wisdom guiding your earthly choices, your soul speaking to your personality. The more you trust and follow gut feeling direction, the stronger and clearer it becomes. Your future self has also learned to work with what they call quantum timing. They understand that everything has its right time. That forced action creates pushback, while lined up action creates flow. That patience isn't sitting around waiting, but active trust in perfect timing. They've stopped pushing rivers and started flowing with them. This doesn't mean they're sitting still. They take inspired action all the time, but they've learned to tell the difference between sense of self-driven action that tries to control results and soul-inspired action that helps the highest good. They move when moving feels lined up and rest when resting feels needed, trusting that both are perfect answers to the quantum wisdom that guides all things. If this message is hitting your awareness as truth and not just words, then I invite you to subscribe not just to this channel, but to this energy we're building together. This is more than watching videos. This is an awareness community, a field of lined-up people choosing to live from their highest potential. Every person who matches up with this understanding makes the shared field stronger for everyone. Your future self wants you to know something important about the hard times you've faced. Every single tough experience you've gone through has been getting you ready for this moment. Not because you needed to hurt, but because awareness grows through contrast. Every time you picked love over fear, growth over staying comfortable, truth over what's easy, you were building the quantum harmony needed to reach this new timeline. The strength you built by not quitting when everything felt lost, that's quantum bounce-back ability. The wisdom you gained by making mistakes and learning from them, that's quantum smarts. The care you grew by understanding your own pain, that's quantum love. All of it has been getting you ready to live as the aware creator you're remembering yourself to be. Your future self doesn't regret anything because they can see how everything added to their growth. They don't wish their path had been different because they understand that easy roads don't create strong awareness. They're thankful for every experience that helped them build the inner resources needed to handle the plenty, love, and power that flows naturally in this new timeline. This is why your future self can hold such high energies without being crushed. They've been training for this their whole life. Every challenge was a quantum workout, making their ability to be a clear channel for awareness to express through them stronger. Every letdown was training in not holding on. Every loss was learning about nothing lasting forever. Every fear faced was practice in being brave. But let me be clear. Your future self isn't perfect. They still experience the full range of human feelings. They still face not knowing and change. They still make mistakes and learn from them. The difference is they meet all experiences from being present rather than reacting, from love rather than fear, from being whole rather than lacking. They've learned to be human without losing their connection to the holy. They found that waking up isn't about rising above being human. It's about living holiness through being human. It's not about becoming something other than human. It's about being so genuinely human that the holy naturally shines through. They haven't escaped the human experience. They've changed their relationship to it. Your future self has also gotten really good at the quantum art of letting be. They've learned that pushing against is the only source of pain, that what you fight against stays and what you accept changes. This doesn't mean they become passive or accept harmful situations. It means they answer life from inner peace rather than inner chaos. When facing challenges, they ask, "What is this teaching me?" rather than, "Why is this happening to me?" When experiencing change, they ask, "How can I flow with this?" rather than, "How can I stop this?" This shift in asking changes their entire relationship to life, from victim to student, from powerless to powerful. Think about watching this message every morning for the next week. Let it adjust your frequency as you begin each day. And if someone comes to mind while listening, share this with them. When you share quantum awareness ideas, you create energy waves that speed up both your understanding and theirs, making the shared field of awakened awareness stronger. Drop one word in the comments that captures the energy you're choosing to live in this new timeline. Let it be your energy mark to the quantum field. One word that represents who you're becoming, not who you've been. Let the universe know what frequency you're sending out now. Your future self is not somewhere else. They are here now, speaking through your awareness of these words. They are the part of you that sees truth when you hear it. That feels growing when you line up with it. That knows without knowing how they know. They are you. Just you without the walls. You without the doubt. You without the story that you're separate from the love that created you. And if you're still here, still present with this message, then subscribe, not just to stay linked, but to stay in harmony with this understanding. Because the more of us who live from this awareness, the more the world shows that possibility. We are not just individual beings having separate experiences. We are awareness itself, seeing itself in endless forms, remembering that it was never damaged and therefore never needed to be repaired. Your waking up matters. Your healing matters. Your lining up matters. Not just for you, but for everyone whose life you touch, everyone whose path you cross, everyone who sees your transformation from fear to love, from shrinking to growing, from living small to living fully alive. You passed the test by being here. You opened the timeline by choosing to listen. You are already living your future by seeing it in this present moment. The version of you that you've been searching for, they were always here, waiting for you to stop looking everywhere else and start seeing what was always true. This is your moment. This is your timeline. This is your waking up. Not tomorrow when you feel ready. Not next week when you've worked it out. Not next year when you've beaten all your fears. Now, in this breath, in this awareness, in this choice to live as the amazing being you've always been, under the story that you were anything less, your future self is no longer begging you to see this. They're celebrating because you finally have. The quantum field responds most powerfully to one specific thing that makes every other rule we've explored stronger. Understanding this key will change how fast your new timeline shows up. Find out what the quantum field only responds to, and watch reality reshape itself around your deepest goals with speed and exactness like never before.